What up? What up? What up?
What's up?
It's. I'm just gonna put this on Jump Street before any intro is said. This is gonna be a very lackluster production of a podcast that we've ever done because of a lackluster pay-per-view that we're going to do. But whatever, you'll see. I'm warning you now. But we're going to give it our best with the material we got. I am Lana, your resident diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea per. And if you have some tea, you know, to hit me up. And welcome to the cup. Because, you know, I should have said that at the beginning. Welcome to the cup where you put the real and the tea in reality and where you can always come here first to quench your reality thirst. Yeah, I am drinking water because it's basic like this card. So, water
Is it a generic bottle of water?
It is, but I don't have time. I don't feel like going. I don't even feel like going to push the button. It's so
That's
generic.
how little we care about this episode. We don't even.
I don't even get to push the buttons anymore. But it's water. But I do have something that is not generic, and that is your cup mug. And you can get all of your cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the descriptions below. Also, subscribe to this channel while you're here. We see you watching. We see you scrolling. We see you lurking. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the buttons and show all of the love because we show you the love right back. Yep.
Hey. Hi. I'm Lewis. I'm a canny laddie a week away from being back in Manny. Real glassed, Crimea River. I'm not drinking anything. I'll probably go get some Pepsi in a second. Ironic. Very ironic.
Not the Pepsi. Not Phil Brooks.
Here I was about to say, I hope you get your fill.
Oh.
There we go. It's your turn, bud.
All right, well, you know what it is. I'm here. My name is Wes. I'm drinking out of an inferior cup that's just black. It could have been the cup, and it's not. So, unlike me, do not make my mistake. Go get a cup at the cup. Go do it. You know you can. You know you should. So go do it. But yeah, no, I'm here to enjoy something. Yeah. So I'm here.
You're here.
I mean, you are here moderately begrudgingly, just like the rest of us, because now we all have to talk about Payback, hi, it's Bro, queer college graduate who plays way too much, I think, Smash Bros. Recently started working at Starbucks, so now I'm back for that, which is delightful. Regardless, here lately, I have been playing the game of trying to catch up on sleep, which is a delightful game to play. Can't even lie. And I'm so excited to talking about what Payback, Bad Back, Pay Bore.
I mean, at least according to Shinsuke Nakamura, it's Bad Back.
Yeah, it is Bad Back. That is true. And we're talking about a card that is so uninspired that I honestly think it was made during the New Generation era in the 90s, because that is how little it feels like it's been built. It's giving me Diesel versus King Mabel at SummerSlam, honestly.
Not too much on King Mabel.
I mean,
there's no way to be too much on King Mabel. Let's keep it
it's one of these things. I'm not excited. Apparently, nobody here is excited. We don't really care about this card that much, but we're going to talk about it because that's what we do. So I figure we should just jump right in. What y'all think? Should we just dive in and start?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of have to.
I guess that's what we're here to do. So
let's just do it.
Let's just do it. Let's just jump in it.
Yeah, we got this. Listen, this review can be short, just like the card.
True. Facts on facts. So yeah, okay.
To stay short because I got food from It's Just Wings on the way from DoorDash, so let's go.
Not that. But Payback is happening Saturday. Yeah. So here's the match that I'm starting off with.
It's for LA Knight to get Payback on The Miz.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, First off, let's just say this: The Miz just lost a match to Akira Tozawa. Okay, love my man Tozawa. Do not get me wrong; very underrated talent, an incredible worker in that ring. But is there any way that you come? I mean, I guess it could be 50-50 booking where Miz like cheats to beat LA Knight. But do we really want this feud to go another month? I don't think so.
Then again, what's WWE if it isn't inconsistent?
So, guys, let's be honest. All right, if our man Pat McAfee can get a dub on the Miz, why am I seeing him fight LA Knight?
If I'm
Any
Snoop
question?
Dogg,
Yeah, if Snoop Dogg can get a win, should Snoop Dogg be on this card? LA Knight versus Snoop Dogg? Just saying.
I would put butts in the seats.
The doggy dog elbow style?
I can't. I'm so bored already. I can't even. And here's the thing. This is the thing. It's not because I'm bored with LA Knight or The Miz. I think I kind of love their little back and forths. I love both of them on the mic because they both are good on the mic, and so I love their banter and their back and forth. But like honestly, I don't care. I feel like LA Knight. Not saying The Miz is on a decline, but LA Knight is on a rise. And I get he has to fight people in order to continue to stay on this rise and blah blah blah. But like The Miz, is The Miz that right choice to I don't know. I'm bored personally. I'm just particularly bored by all of it. I just want
As an avid member of Jobber Society, I have to say there were many other jobbers that could have taken this slot. I love The Miz. I am a Miz fan.
Mm-hmm.
I like The Miz a lot, especially when he was allowed to win matches against like football players.
Right.
And Akira Tozawa.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like my boy Dolph could have done this better. I feel like there are many jobbers out here that could have done a lot better. You know, we could have been seeing some positive Ali talk. I don't know, anything, just anything. But you know what? I'm happy because this is an LA Knight win.
Yep.
And those should be less sparse in this company.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is not necessarily in decline. I mean, he kind of is though, and not as a performer, but just like in how they're portraying him. I mean, Miz is a 2-time Grand Slam champion, right? He has won every belt in that company. Wow, man, a reputation, surefire Hall of Famer. But when you look at that win-loss record in 2023,
listen, he's giving Dominic some competition.
I mean, no, Dominic's a freaking champ right now.
I mean, the fact that he is now the most chicken shit of chicken shit heels.
It's not even that he's a chicken shit heel. It's literally that he gets in fights, right? And because the machine is not behind him, he loses. It's not that he's not even been cowardly heel. Because being honest, in this feud with LA Knight, they've been like pretty back and forth barbs and like not backing down from each other. But Miz is literally 1-29 this year. He has won a match, singular, one match, and it was at a house show. So forgive me if you have.
And you know where his second match isn't coming at Payback.
No, he's not winning.
How dare they do the Miz like this? You know what?
It's kind of disgusting, honestly, because I too am a Miz fan. Have been since the Miz got there. I've never deterred because I was a Miz fan when he was on the Real World. I was like, I love this guy. I think he's great. And then when he finally made WWE, I'm like, I love this guy. I think he's great. And I'm not deterred from that. And that way they treating him is disgusting. I'm like, absolutely, he deserves better.
Listen, all I'm saying is a less popular Miz is a world champion on a different promotion. That's all I'm saying.
If Miz would have went to Impact all those years ago when people were saying like being missing and stuff, he would have been a multiple platform. So
I just connected the dots. I'm ignoring what Wes said. Anyway,
sorry, CM Punk reference number 5.
This is a match and it's happening on Saturday.
Yep.
This is a match and it's happening on Saturday.
On Saturday.
That's definitely
That's what's happening on Saturday.
That's definitely what's
Now,
happening.
in this fierce competition, Lewis, who you got? Which competitors is coming out on top?
Ooh, it's a tough one. Tough call. Be
It's a
careful.
tough one. It's a really tough one. Yeah, LA.
I would say if my back was against the wall and y'all were forcing me with a gun to my head, I'll probably have to go with
Not
to go with LA Knight if you twisted my arm about it.
Gun to your head.
Yeah, gun to my head.
Somebody call FTR.
Yeah. What about you, Wes? If we
Did you
forcing
just
you to pick,
somebody call FTR?
You should have heard the chant. You should have heard the chant. Anyway.
Now, some people call me Westradamus because of
No
my
one
ability
calls you
to
that.
predict the future. And Westradamus says LA Knight.
yeah.
First of all, I'm
Not
like
a
your best
question mark.
friend. The only person that ever calls you that is yourself. Secondly, or we do when I'm memeing on you. Regardless, I will say, I love a good wild card pick, and I know WWE is trying to fill time until Fastlane. So honestly, I think The Miz wins via shenanigans.
All right.
Okay.
You could be right.
That would be a unique way.
Maybe.
This is the only match on this card that makes sense to me.
Only one I'm even remotely excited for.
This is the only card that makes sense to me, and this is the only card I was like that should have happened at SummerSlam anyway. But whatever.
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
But whatever. Here we are. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus in a steel cage match.
Yay!
I'm excited about this match.
All right, Lana, you're excited. You're excited. Tell us about this match.
Okay. So for me, I am excited because this match, first of all, should have happened at SummerSlam. I said that before, and I'll say it again. This build-up between them has been going on for a while now. It makes sense why they don't like each other. Trish turned on Becky all those months and many months ago, and they've been fighting ever since. And it's been personal. It's been, everything you would hope for a build-up in WWE to happen. And we expect this is what's going to happen at SummerSlam. A big pay-per-view is going to come to a head. And WWE decides, nah. We're not going to do that. We're not going to give them the big build-up. We're going to let them build them up, but we're not going to give them the big show. Because then they said they'll do it in Toronto on a Raw. And we is that it? Is that all we got? But thankfully, they turned around and said, we'll do another one, a match at Payback. And it'll be a steel cage match. I love a good stipulation in the match. I love a good thing to do for a good theme, if you will. I love a good theme for a match. So a good steel cage match between these two amazing superstars is great. And I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see it.
It does feel really full circle for, I hope to God this is where this rivalry ends. It is running on fumes, and that is being very kind of me to say.
I don't know. Me personally, I've never seen, have you ever seen, Brooke, where they take a feud and drag it out too long? I've never seen it before.
Not one time.
No.
I mean, I think what we're just seeing is that Becky needs more adversity, okay? Regardless, it is kind of poetic because this whole, even with Trish not even involved, Becky and Lita started when Becky had her steel cage match with Bayley all those years ago. All those months ago, because this is February, right? This feud has literally been going on, off and on. Like the storyline involving Bayley, Becky, Trish, Lita,
off,
on
and on and off, and on and off.
So please let this end. I don't agree very often with Bully Ray, right? Personally, not a big fan of him. But on his podcast recently, he said that Becky needs to take some time away and come back. And I think that would be really good for her. I don't really see anybody on her level that she could feud with that would feel believable, right? Even Rhea, right? Because Rhea's the champ. If she's feuding with Rhea, she's probably not going to win the belt. We don't see Rhea dropping the belt anytime soon. And Becky's on Raw. There's not really anybody else that's at that point that Becky could feud with right now So I think Becky taking some time off after this would be great. And Trish has indicated she's planning on staying around after this feud. And if Trish is back full time, the women's division is only getting better and better. So happy for her. Becky is winning this match, 99.99% chance. But I would not be mad if Trish did win.
This is also a match that is happening on Saturday. Can I just say, can we give women better stipulations than the same stipulation recurring on and off again every few months? Because I feel like I've seen Becky in a steel cage enough times now. Like, give them something new to work with, please. Anyway, this is a match. I'm gonna go for Becky. Sure. And also, Buddy Ray, I'm a fan. Thank you for letting me talk your head off a few months ago. I really appreciate it. Cool.
Yeah, you know what I'm a fan of? The Man. I don't know if she's gonna win this match. I'm not convinced because I think that what Becky Lynch needs is a longer and more drawn out feud. And I think that's exactly what WWE will be thinking. Because I can believe in one thing with my whole heart right now, and that is in WWE's bad booking. And so, in honor of that, I'm actually going to give this one to Trish.
Ooh.
I wouldn't be mad. I think it definitely has legs there.
I personally was going to give mine to Trish as well because I feel like if Becky, which sounds right, if Becky takes a break, takes some time,
Yep.
she will lose this match. Trish will go on to continue helping building up the women's division.
Absolutely.
I don't see, like you said, Becky needs a feud that can give her that man status again because right now it's not. She is losing its power as Becky is the man, and all she's doing is fighting with Trish Stratus, and then Zoe Stark, and because of Trish Stratus, it's like. We need a feud that Becky could stick her teeth in and be like, now here's the man that we've been waiting for. And she needs to take a break and she needs to relax, be gone, give the universe the chance to miss her. She comes back. She does. Because like when she came back and snatched that belt from Bianca Belair, it was like, oh, Becky is back. Becky is the man and Becky is back. It's tilted off again. She needs to go away and do it again. She needs to come back and then grab on to somebody who is at the top of the. Maybe by that time she comes back, they'll be ready to take the belt off Rhea, or whoever, or Io, whoever has it at the time. But yeah, I think Trish got this. I think Trish is gonna win this because she also has Zoe Stark in her corner, and because some shenanigans can happen, Trish wins it.
And as we all know, as wrestling fans, if you're gonna leave on a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Prop the talent that's going to be staying there. That's usually how it goes, right? That's how it's supposed to happen.
And you come back bigger and madder because you've been sitting at home with this chip on your shoulder.
Exactly. And then it gives you rivalries and stuff. So, Lana, what you said makes a lot of sense. It actually makes so much sense. I'm going to have to switch my decision.
Oh, not that.
because I've already said that I don't know. We're going to see some bad booking tonight. And I think that Trish might be the move, which means that Becky has to take it now. And unfortunately, although Lana, I really hope that secretly we're right and Trish wins this match and then gets to go and help the Divas or the women's division that they need so much. Or we could have some people maybe give women a chance in wrestling, but that might be asking too much. So
yeah, maybe too much to have more than one women's match on your biggest pay-per-view of the year if you're AEW too, because literally, I will say this: at least WWE has multiple women's matches booked for the show. That is something. It's not
at least something. I'm about to say WWE at least has at least 2 women's matches each pay-per-view. At least
now build up
none whatsoever. No build up at all. Just all of a sudden it's 2 women's matches, but still 2. Anyway, we move.
Wow! Oh my gosh! Look at this match, guys. Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory. He's still with the company. Okay.
Can I
know that one.
say this? Just one thing. Okay, I'm not going to comment any further than this. Okay. Turn this man face or release him. I don't care. I do not. Ray's winning, I pray. Austin Theory needs to go away for a while, come back, face something, because he is so boring and stale right now. Moving on. There we go.
Wow. Lewis.
I kind of feel sorry for the booking of Theory because there was legit none until like only a couple of weeks ago. He won the belt at WrestleMania, sat in catering for like 3-4 months, and came back and lost his title almost instantaneously. Apart from that one battle royal he was put in for the sake of numbers. Anyway, I feel like Ray's retaining on this one. I do think Theory should go away for a bit, come back face like we mentioned, because I think he could make a really good face. I think.
I mean, he has made a good face before. Like, if you watch his stuff in NXT when he was part of the Way, he was a fantastic, like, comedic baby face, right? And if you've also watched any of his, like, out of the ring when he's, like, doing Make-A-Wish stuff, or when he's interacting with fans outside of, like, programming, he seems like a really genuinely nice guy. This, like, fake, cocky, selfie camera knockoff MJF, for lack of a better phrasing. No offense, Austin. It's not your fault. It just does not work with him. And I wish he was that face we saw in NXT. That was so much fun to watch.
What I hate about that archetype of a heel is it's so overdone. So overdone. We see that with, MJF, The Miz even, Grayson Waller. I feel like they just stick to the book too often. Like, it would be nice to have Roman, for instance, doesn't play by that book, and it's refreshing to have that kind of heel that doesn't do the same thing everyone else does. But yeah, Theory would be much better as a face, and we've seen it numerous times, especially out of the ring, as we've mentioned.
Yeah, and I completely agree with everyone so far, for sure. Because Austin Theory deserves something. I think that his match with Cena was, and then like just the complete nothing burger of everything after that. It almost kind of reminds me of like 2018 Roman Reigns, of like how fans look at Theory right now, which is like, please get off of our screens, before the tribal chief, but like that early bit, of just like, okay, you're not getting over as a face. You just aren't. And that's how I feel about Austin Theory's heel. You're just not getting over as a heel. So take some time off of the company, just like Lewis, Brooke, Lana, all of you have said, and bring us something new.
As the resident face of the Cup Pod, I will say this. He needs to be a face. there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, because nobody is buying this cocky, arrogant. It's John Cena was so right about him. I can't stress it enough. John Cena was like, "You're stale. Nobody's buying what you're selling." And he wasn't more correct. It was like, it's nothing personal against Austin Theory. I think Austin Theory would probably be, I mean, facts are facts. He's a great wrestler. He knows what he's doing. He's great in the ring, technically, and all of that. But he's not selling the product that who Austin Theory is. So if this isn't working, and everybody's like, please, please, please get off my screen. We're so annoyed by you. We don't care about you. We just don't care. Then you have to go away, figure it out, and come back. Now, I agree with Brooke. I've seen him outside of the WWE, thing where he's talking to fans and he's hanging out with people, the behind the scenes stuff. Backstage, he's hilarious. He's funny. he's just a likable person behind the scenes from the stuff that we see. He could be that on camera, and I think people will care more right
Yep.
now as this what this
Yeah.
is. Nobody cares.
Tell me why this is like what heel Cena would have been, right?
Right, because everybody want Cena to turn heel. After a while, it gets so stale, and folks are like, I don't want this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want this anymore from Austin Theory. He
Yep.
needs to. He can be like John Cena. He can be that ultimate good guy and just stay that ultimate good guy, and people will still like him. I think he has the charisma, he has the looks, he has everything going right for him if he
Oh.
is the ultimate good guy. But this cocky bad heel guy, nobody cares about. Maybe in a few years down the road, after he's come back and been face for a while, maybe down the road he can turn heel again and people will appreciate it more. But as of right now,
But you know what? Learn from people who are doing heel better than you, which is when we see another cocky heel, like let's take MJF, when he's being an ass to someone, he has like some deep-seated trauma, he has something to attach to. Being a prick to just be a prick, we get enough of that in real life.
in real life, right?
And I mean, using MJF as an example, MJF isn't even a heel anymore, and that's the crazy part about it. We're like, Austin Theory has been a heel on the main roster for the better part of 2 years now, right? Other than two U.S. title reigns, right? 2 U.S. title reigns and a Money in the Bank win, right? He hasn't really done much with that, right? And sure, those are great accomplishments, right? They're wrestler. I mean, Ali's been on the main roster forever and never won a damn thing.
Right.
But like, God, why did I say that? Regardless, I mean, when you look at it that way, sure, he's done things, right? But when the fans just don't support you, they don't support you, and they're not gonna support this, like Lewis said, this cliche heel that fits into this mold that has been done better by countless other people. So
even maybe Grayson Waller.
Even maybe Grayson Waller, because I can't stand him.
I mean, Grayson Waller is annoying, and I love to hate him.
Exactly. But like, even with you won Money in the Bank. And what did you do with it?
Right.
What did you do with it?
I was going to say the refreshing thing about Grayson Waller is it doesn't feel like he's being fed shit.
It's just like he's just a dick, and we know it, and
like...
it is what it is.
So we all agree Austin Theory turned face, Rey Mysterio retained, and can we also agree Austin Theory new finisher?
Sure.
Great.
Okay. Also. And this is something that got said a while back, and I know I harp on Austin Theory's finisher a lot being really bad, right? But imagine, I don't know if anybody watches old stuff when he used to finish people with a move called Ataxia, right? Lewis, I know you've seen it. That move is legitimately powerfully devastating looking, right? And now
let's give him an AA.
To a neat face breaker TKO that's really bad and really lame and doesn't even hit it well. So the finisher adds so much to somebody's presentation, though, and if the finisher's not there, it's going to be another reason people aren't going to buy into him.
Right.
So if he got a better finisher, people might care more.
All right.
Sure.
Not
gonna lie, I'm bad with names for like finishers. So if I've seen it, I'm gonna check it out on YouTube.
It was like that pump handle bitter end kind of thing that he used to do. Yeah.
Right, yes. Actually, yeah, I do remember
the Rhea Machine. All right. Well, this is an exciting match.
Can I just say, finally, we fucking booked Rhea in a match.
This is the first time she's defended the belt on pay-per-view, I believe, since champions in Saudi Arabia. If we count that 1 minute match, so yay.
I mean, we kind of have to.
All right, I got to start off with a deep take. All right, there is this TikTok, YouTube Shorts guy who goes around giving wrestlers fist bumps.
Yep.
And then giving them candy. Right, we're all aware. Right.
Yeah.
I have to say, I fell in love with Raquel Rodriguez when I saw her be very kind to that man, and so. Because of that, I now have somewhat of a soft spot for Raquel. I'm like, maybe Raquel's really cool. Maybe like not the biggest tall or the best tall woman in the ring, but really, really cool, good person. She's being fed to the Ripley blender. This is not going to be pretty. Anyone here have a contrary opinion to that? I just have to know.
I don't think Raquel look like a chump. I don't think this is going to be a Night of Champions beats Raquel in a minute situation.
No.
I think it's going to be a proper match that Rhea is going to win because, dear Lord, Rhea's reign has not been good enough for her to drop the belt, and this build has not been good enough for Raquel to win it. But it is at least refreshing to, one, get a match that involves somebody who is not in that 6 list of women that are constantly given title matches on pay-per-view. So there's that. And secondly, it's going to be nice to at least see, we don't really get like the female version of a Hoss fight very often. So I'm intrigued to see where this goes.
Yeah,
but
I think this is going to be best match of the night, by the way.
Not a bad take.
I definitely think it's going better than 7 minutes.
Oh, I agree. My notorious 7-minute prediction's not for this match, but Raquel's not winning. And that's kind of what I mean by being fed to the Ripley blender. It's like, there's no world, even though I like Raquel, which is why I had to preface that, there's no way that Raquel's winning this match.
Yeah, I have to say, speaking of the TikTok man who fist bumps and gives candy, I fell in love with quite a few of the wrestlers who do that, and because they're actually, some of them are very kind, and some of them are like very on brand to their character. The Miz, because if you saw him, he was like, he fist bumped him and was like, no, I don't want your candy. No, I don't want your candy, and he walked away. And I'm like,
seemed like such a nice guy after
right. Like, I feel like the Miz is like so fun. Like, I would want to hang out with the Miz, get a couple of drinks with the Miz. I think he'd be hilarious. But he stays in character whenever there's a camera around, and I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. But yeah, I think Raquel is going to give us. It's not going to be Night of Champions. It's not going to be like Natalia's match. It won't be that 1 minute. Rhea just rips her. I think she's going to put up a good fight. It's going to be some back and forth, some very close calls. We're going to be like, that. I think this is the match that's going to pull us in and be like, could Rhea actually lose? Oh no, she's not going. You know what I'm saying? It's those moments where it's like, oh, maybe Raquel has it. Maybe no. Then Rhea turns around and just does something. And the Judgment Day will get involved. We will see Dirty Dom getting involved and doing some things. So I'm like, okay. I think this is going to be one of the better matches of this card.
Yeah, completely agree.
Lewis.
I don't think it's going to be as back and forth as you're saying, to be honest.
Really?
I don't know if I don't think it's going to be a squash per se, but I don't think it's going to be oh my god. I don't think Raquel's going to get to that point where she could possibly win it. I think.
If they let Zelina Vega get to that point,
right, but like
they're gonna let Raquel get to a point in their match.
I don't know about that. I'll give it 9 minutes.
Oh,
that's my prediction.
With only 5 matches on the card, I just have to point that out.
6 matches. I've sort of 30 minutes ago.
Oh,
so they added the Gunther Chad Gable.
No. We've got a tag match. We've got a tag match. That we'll talk about.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Yeah, because it's not on the slideshow.
We'll get to it at the end of the slideshow.
During Raw, everybody.
But yeah, Rhea Ripley's retaining. Can we have a consistent booking with Rhea after this pay-per-view, please? Thank you.
Can we have consistent booking? Thank you.
Thank you. I'm about to say.
Fine for Rhea Ripley, please.
I just want consistent booking for everybody.
Balor or Damian Priest. That is literally just her in her championship being considered important.
Right.
One memorable moment outside of Rhea Ripley breaking with Morgan's arm that has happened during her title reign.
Mm-hmm.
What happened during her? Yeah.
So we all saying Rhea?
Of course.
Great.
All right, let's move on. Seth freaking Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm gonna let y'all have at it, and I'll whatever.
I want a Shinsuke main title run. It's not happening, but I really want it.
You know, there's a part of me now that I'm thinking about Becky possibly taking some time off. That's thinking maybe Seth should take some time off. I mean, let's be real. The man, like, going. Since he came back all those years ago after the Achilles, right? I can't remember the last time he took, like, substantial time off. It's been a hot minute if it did happen. And, like, I don't know. Nakamura is one of those guys. I feel like he's in a very similar position to Dolph Ziggler. And not that he loses all the time, but in that he can kind of slot in wherever you need him on the card outside of, like, a lower card feud. And it would make sense and it's believable. I do think it's definitely higher odds that Seth retains, but a Nakamura title win would make me so excited. It would reinvigorate me into watching Raw, honestly. So for that reason and that reason alone, I'm picking Shinsuke just because it's what I want. Shinsuke Winsuke.
Wes.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things I want in my life. One of them is written in my face to be Sheamus' full theme all the time, every time, all day, every day. I wanted Cody to win at WrestleMania. There are a lot of things I want. I want Shinsuke Nakamura to win this match, but WWE isn't going to let that happen. So Rollins is going to keep rolling, and Nakamura is going to keep not getting what he deserves.
Briefcase shenanigans. Expecting that. Expecting the briefcase shenanigans again. There's not much else I can say.
Give me briefcase failed cash in. Shinsuke capitalizes, gains title.
I mean, honestly, you know what I could see? I think they put this match on before the tag title match that just got announced. I could see Damian Priest cashing in, winning the belt, and then instead of it being Finn and Damian challenging Kevin and Sammy for the tag belts, it could be Finn and JD McDonough challenging for the tag belts. I'm just saying, it'd be fun. And we'll also get the tag belts off Kevin and Sammy, who I love, but haven't really done anything with his belts. So,
is it just me? Has anyone done anything for the last 2 months? Is this like this nebulous, like, ghost zone of where, like, what have the belts been doing, period?
the only champion that I feel like has actually elevated their stock as champion in the past few months is Gunther. And that's because
Am I alone there? Am I missing something, Lewis, Lana? Am I like just not watching enough programming to feel like none of the belts have been impactful?
You've watched enough programming if you've not been watching programming, to be fair. No, I completely agree. There's just a general shit show. Like, it's just generally been shit. I can't say anything more than that.
No, it's
No. This is probably the one I'm looking forward to, just because I think we could get a good match out of it.
Oh, 100%. The day that I don't think Seth freaking Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura are going to deliver is a different world, because they're going to deliver a good match. I just wish, I don't know, what happened to like belts and stakes and tension and build up? And we had this a couple months ago, not like, okay, maybe more than a couple months, but like 6 months ago, we had all those things. What happened? What happened, WWE?
we remembered the fact that here lately, WWE is only letting title changes happen on a whim and or at WrestleMania. So
I don't know. I've lived through the highs of WWE when they were at their very height, and I've lived through the lows of WWE when they were at the lowest. and then it felt like they were on the rise again and were getting good things. Now I think they're back going down to their lows again. And as a WWE fan, the low points are hard. The low points are tough. The low points are gross. But if you're if you're a fan of the product and of the train, you stick with it until it gets going to the uprise again. And so I'm just gonna hold off and I'm gonna stick with it. I mean, my man. Yeah, that's my man. I'm a stand by him. I'm gonna stand by him. I'm gonna stand by it until it gets itself together. But we just got to deal with the lows of the bad. This is a bad relationship we in, and I'm gonna stick with him until we get through that tough part of the relationship. Eh, eh, eh.
Yeah.
But I think okay. Here's my guess. Or this is what I want. I ain't even gonna say because I don't really know what's gonna happen. But this is what I want. I want Shinsuke Nakamura to win. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I kind of want it to happen because I want him to win because I feel like he deserves it. He should have won that year. He won the Royal Rumble, but that's just another thing for me. So I'm gonna say Shinsuke. I could be 100% wrong, but I'm gonna say Shinsuke.
I'm with you, Lana. Team Shinsuke all the way.
Shinsuke Winsuke.
I'm gonna be realistic and say
Period.
Seth.
But
Realism.
I mean,
Not the
yeah, somebody got to be because somebody has to
realism.
be. But here's what's the name?
What?
Okay, here we go. I didn't hear what you said.
Said not realism in the world of pro wrestling. Not
Oh,
that.
right.
For sure.
Yeah, that's bringing
It's
me
false
some
entertainment.
shattered dreams right there.
Mm.
So this match, Brooke told me to add to the
Just been heavily rumored, and if we do talk about it, at least this video won't be like. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, it would be nice to at least discuss it. Is the only thing
Yeah.
I think.
and I'm with you on that. So Gunther versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. Brooke, you
Just
brought
to
it to
be a-
my attention.
Yep.
I'll go ahead. You talk about it.
You want me to talk about it? Okay.
Yeah, because you brought
I
it.
am here. Okay. On the one hand, okay, Gunther is this close to breaking that record. I believe he is 10 days away as of today, as of filming on August 28th. Okay. If he makes it past Payback, unless he drops it on the Raw after Payback, he's breaking the record. Okay, but let's keep it 100. So there is the one part of my brain that's saying, oh, well, duh, just let Gunther break the record, keep him established as this dominant, unbeatable force for real. And then there's another part of my brain. And the other part of my brain is saying it would be very entertaining to have us get built this long, right? And Gunther acts like this record is a sure thing, that no one can stop him, right? And for Gunther to lose to a surprise rolled up from Chad Gable. I don't think it's going to happen. But also, I kind of want to see what happens when Gunther does lose, right? Because he's only lost twice in the entire history of his time in the company, okay? One of them was when he lost the NXT UK title to Ilya Dragunov. You know what he did? He went away for a while, then came back on NXT. The other time he lost was when he lost the NXT Championship match to Braun Breaker. You know what he did? Went away for a while and then came back on the main roster. We have never had a time where Gunther has lost and had to deal with it on screen. It just hasn't happened. So, I don't know. I feel like Gunther not only losing his baby, that IC title, but also not breaking the record that he got this close to would be so captivating. And also, I am a Chad Gable stan account, so sheesh, I'm going with Chad Gable.
Yeah, so that's not happening. So if this match happens, of course, Gunther's going to be breaking that record. But I also have to point out that that type of booking, the booking idea of wouldn't it be funny if insert statement, is exactly why we had Brock Lesnar beat the streak.
Mhm.
And so those tend to be really shocking, but they don't tend to hold good positive feelings long term. And I feel like with this Gunther streak, they're not going to go this far just for and we do it for the funny moment of like the shocking loss. We're going to see this go all the way. They're going to want to have Gunther, who is not lost in a very long time, be able to bring that streak, somewhere. And, even if it's just to get the previous recipient out and give someone fresh and new and say streaks can be broken in the WWE in modern day. So I definitely, if this match happens, Gunther's going to retain. But I do love the optimism. As a Dolph Ziggler fan, I'm always optimistic.
Well, let me clarify. This is not, haha, it'd be funny if Chad Gable won. I think Gunther losing is more interesting for his character than him winning. Because Gunther as a character has been built around the mat is sacred, the ring is sacred, right? And he treats that Intercontinental Championship with such gravitas and such passion that he has made it feel at times like a world championship. He has been putting on the best match at every pay-per-view he has fought at. And him getting this close to the record and not only not getting the record, but losing the belt, I mean, where would that send his character, right? It would be so... I would want to see what happens. Because Gunther winning, I mean, it's predictable. And Gunther breaking the record is totally fine. I don't have a problem with it. But I think the idea of Gunther losing the belt this close to breaking the record is kind of more interesting than him breaking it. So I'm picking Chad Gable, and I don't feel bad about it.
Lewis?
I feel like I really do feel like Gunther breaking the record elevates the championship a lot more than losing it right before the end of the streak, like whatnot. It's on the fucking honky tonk, man. Let's be real. Let's be fucking real. Gunther being the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship does a lot more than the honky tonk. Full disrespect to the honky tonk night. No, I'm kidding.
That's so rude.
That's so rude. But have you met me?
Yes.
No, I do. No, I think what I'm trying to say is I don't know what I'm trying to say other than there's something about Gunther holding that record over
the honky tonk man.
That makes a lot more sense.
I feel like my point about like actually seeing a record be broken in modern day wrestling, and I mean like a real, old record, and then get to see Gunther, because then that's going to elevate Gunther for the rest of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference between this and the Roman shit is Gunther is consecutive. Like Gunther is
he fights constantly.
Right, he's a lot more of a regular worker than Roman Reigns is.
Agreed. If this match happens, I need Gunther to just win, which he probably will. And Chad Gable, I think this will. I don't mind this feud continuing. Honestly, if they want to continue it, that's fine. And Chad Gable can take it off of him later if they want that to happen. That's fine. I just want this could be the start of their, long feud that they have up until whenever. But just Gunther wins. Gunther holds the record, and then he loses it.
Either way, this is going to elevate Chad Gable.
But I agree.
I will also say there is another thing I saw on Twitter, which was Gunther beats Gable here, right? Breaks the record. Chad Gable gets down in the dumps, and the way he gets out of it is with the help of not only with Maxine Dupree and Otis, but Chad Gable has been a tag team guy forever, right? Had 5 different tag partners, at least 4 that I can think of off the top of my head that he's won tag team gold with. So there was a thing that was like, and all those people are somehow connected to the company still, because you got Shelton Benjamin, you have Bobby Roode, you have Jason Jordan, who's a producer backstage now because he had that neck thing happen. So somebody said just have a promo with them all appearing, like trying to convince him that he can beat Gunther, and then have Gable take the belt off Gunther at Fastlane or Survivor Series. And I think that's pretty cool too. But I mean, either way, this match, if this does happen, this match is going to suck. slap. So I can't wait.
But we still all think Gunther's going to win, right?
Yeah, and that's the brass tacks of it. So, last question to wrap us up here.
Oh,
All right.
we're not wrapping quite yet.
Oh, we're not? Okay.
Because we
Well,
have one
then
more thing to discuss.
I have to propose a question though,
Mhm.
which is to the viewer, right? We apologize. The Payback is not everything we want it to be, and we're going through, as Lana very well articulatedly put it, like a doldrum, right? In WWE right now, we have to be for the highs and the lows, and we're still covering it because we are the cup. But what would you guys like to see? And we can be pretty short with this. What would be one thing that you would love to see to try to get us out of this low point? I'll go first as an example. I would just like to see a few more NXT call-ups. Because we have a really cool NXT roster going on currently right now, and I would like to see how a couple of them fare on the main roster. So that's one thing I would like to see.
And there's a few of them down there that were at such a great point that are now sitting in catering backstage with nothing to do.
Right.
We see a lot of people coming down, but not a lot of people going up. So yeah, I agree on that front.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need to see more people being put up and actually in storylines. Stop making the same people have all the stories. Like, give us new storylines with new people, and make. This is your job as WWE, is to make us like this new talent. You have all these new talent. You have all these people in NXT. You have all these people coming up from NXT. You have all these people just sitting backstage. Why are we having so many people sitting backstage? Create a story for them. Create a story, even if it's like a group story. Like, remember when everybody was chasing that 24/7 belt and everybody was everywhere running around for that 24/7 belt? And we saw people like Dana Brooke get a 24/7 championship. And I mean, like, crazy. Do something where people are included in the madness, even if we just see them in the setting of a battle royal that you just so happily threw away throughout there, or something. Just make people more accessible, so we get. It's like high school shows or college shows on television. You're great with the people who've been there, the original cast, and they were seniors. But when they graduate, you got to make us like the freshman class coming in. So you start incorporating freshmen and sophomores into the classes. Each year we get some new people. So when they graduate and the old people leave, we have an appreciation because we know who these new people are. Just start incorporating your new talent into them. They don't have to jump in and be main event superstars, but at least put them on the card somewhere for somehow and some capacity.
I love the Degrassi example that just came out of Lana.
I mean, that was more Glee than Degrassi, but sure, because I didn't watch Degrassi.
I have something.
Go ahead.
A tournament. A tournament. That's a way to book people that are not doing shit, that need something to do rather than sitting backstage and catering. Some sort of tournament that doesn't feel like stale, same repeated booking, with people that we haven't seen have some sort of limelight in a while. I'm not saying a king of the ring or a queen of the ring. It can just be something new and fresh.
It could be a tournament just for like a belt coming up. You can be
Right,
a
exactly.
contender for a Universal or Intercontinental or U.S. Championship.
Lana then has led me to my point, which is something that I definitely think would be really useful on current programming, which is another championship. Now, hold your horses. I have it, but I have an idea. It's not just belts, okay? The TV championship has been a formula that has worked in many promotions for years, okay? And I never thought I would be defending NWA of all companies on this podcast. But NWA has two TV titles, one for the men and one for the women, that get on Power every week and at every pay-per-view, right? And it's for people, it's kind of like the IC title and the US title, right? With the only difference being, this could be a belt for low-card talent and lower mid-card talent to push them up, right? Imagine a world where we have a 16-person tournament with people from Raw and SmackDown. It's an inter-brand tournament to get this inter-brand championship that's defended on both shows, right? And you have people like Akira Tozawa and like Drew Gulak and like Dolph Ziggler, right? People who are talented, have tons of upside, even if they're nearing the end of the career like Dolph is. Sorry to remind you of that, Wes. But, you know, people that could still give something to this company, right? And what if, like, Akira Tozawa, let's say Akira Tozawa wins this tournament, right? Gets a championship belt. He hasn't had a belt since he had the Cruiserweight title for 8 days, years ago, not counting the 24/7 championship. So, I mean, a belt like that could elevate talent, give them something to do.
What about the Cruiserweight Championship? Where they been?
This is my point. I would love a new title, but I don't trust this company to create a new title and 3 months down the line just unify it with the fucking North American Championship. Like, I'm sorry. I would love that. But...
Well, I mean, right? They have the Cruiserweights down there for about 2 years.
Right.
And they unified it with the North American Championship. Okay? Kind of bummed about that, but they didn't use the Cruiserweights well anytime they ever had it. So, but now they have the Heritage Cup down there. Okay, right? And not has it looked honestly pretty great consistently across the board. We're about to get the freaking global tournament thing that they're doing. It's like a NXT version of G1, and it's going to be fantastic because it has 8 talented people, including Akira Tozawa and Butch, are in this tournament, and it's a round robin tournament block style. It's going to be fantastic, and I'm so excited for it.
I do like that. It's nice and refreshing to see them formulating their tournament in the way that the G1 runs it.
Okay, before we keep going,
we
still have one last thing we need to talk about. And since I didn't make a slide for it, I will share my screen with it.
Ooh.
When it comes up, when it decides to come up, it'll come up eventually. When you don't want to come up, do you?
You've watched Mania. There we go.
All right. So this is the tag team championship that was announced on Raw. It is the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus Finn and Damian Priest.
This will be interesting.
Now, Damian Priest will not be in this match. It will be JD McDonagh.
Fine, that's your call because I don't see that happening. But that's fine.
I think it will be this combination, but I think this will be where it starts to get heated per se. I think this is where we're going to start seeing a proper dissolution between these two guys. Is that the word? I don't know. Yeah.
I'm ready to see some change. I really enjoy the Judgment Day. I wish they would actually get more than they get.
Me too.
Basically across the board. I am a big Judgment Day fan, but even tension is still something, right? Even Bad Blood is still television. And I wasn't going to say anything while you guys were all talking about with the idea of like a new belt or something. But if they can't even manage getting all the belts with the belts they have on their programming, another belt won't even solve that issue. But this is an opportunity for the Judgment Day, again, to have at least a glimpse in the pan of maybe being some part of the central storyline. Because, Lana, as you pointed out, we've got no bloodline on this pay-per-view. So that means that this pay-per-view could have a different story. This could not be a bloodline pay-per-view. Maybe this is going to be a Judgment Day pay-per-view. I keep waiting for it. Maybe we'll get to see it with this match. Honestly, I would really like it to see actually Judgment Day win this.
Yep.
Because that would create this super strange dynamic in the Judgment Day of like, oh, they're champs, they're tag champs. It's like, oh, but they're still weird and there's heat and there's a little bit of blood there. So I'd love to see it.
Idea. And in my Brick Brother World scenarios, what about this? Because I have the thought. What if this match happens? Judgment Day wins this match. They are tag team champions. Then at the end of the night, either Seth or Shinsuke win, and then Damian Priest cashes in the Money in Bank, has both championships on him. Finn is like, now you have the tension between Finn and Damian Priest, because not only is Damian Priest the tag team champion with Finn, but he's also the world championship, heavyweight championship, and Finn wants that belt. Now you go fight your tag team partner, who is also the champion for that said belt.
Yep.
It
And
is
you know what?
Chris
We have
Jericho.
seen recently that when two tag team champions fight each other as the main event of a pay-per-view, it's really cool. Lana, I'm down. I'm down for this.
I'm here for that.
I'm here for
So-
this world.
See, I don't hate that. My counter proposal: Damian Priest cashes in on Seth before this match happens, because that match happens earlier in the card. Because in my opinion, the main event of this pay-per-view should be Becky and Trish, because I think it's more. We haven't had a
It's not
female
going to be.
we have not had a female main event of a pay-per-view since Bianca and Sasha. It has been that long.
I agree, but we know it's not happening. They don't even want to give women a chance to fight on the pay-per-views, let alone main
You're
event.
not wrong, but this is my fantasy world, and I'm going
Okay.
to choose that this is happening.
Okay.
So, ideally, because they're not main eventing, Seth and Shinsuke the show, right? Priest cashes in after that match, wins the belt, right? We could even say with assistance from JD McDonough, because I think McDonough should be in the Judgment Day, and I think they need to drop the tension until we get closer to Mania time. I think that'll be much more captivating for this feud to end there, as opposed to like Survivor Series, even Royal Rumble. Like, I don't know. I just think it'd be more entertaining. So, Priest wins the belt, has a nice run with the World Heavyweight title, right? McDonough joins in Judgment Day, and since Priest already has a belt, his reward for McDonough helping him is letting him take his place in this tag match. Finn and McDonough win. And then we get one of my favorite things in wrestling, which is the faction draped in gold, because every member of Judgment Day will have a title. The group will feel complete, and it's always the apex of the storyline. When the entire faction is draped, except for the Bloodline, they're the only exception. Whenever they have the gold, everybody has gold. That's the peak, and then they start going down. And that's what should happen to me if I was going to. I think that'd be fun.
I would not be opposed to that, but I just want Judgment Day to have better. Judgment Day deserves better.
We all want Judgment Day to be draped in gold.
Yes.
However it happens, whoever it has to happen, I don't care.
I don't care. I
Just
want
let me see it. Also, no foul thoughts to our Canadian friends. Of course, they are a great tag team. We haven't seen them though, which is
Nope.
really strange with the whole Bloodline thing happening, and they've been absent. Maybe they'll do something cool after losing the belts.
Well, unfortunately, Kevin did get injured for a little bit, so he was
He
out
did.
for a while.
Yeah.
Sammy's
Yep.
that thing that's going on right now, which isn't going to put him on the shelf, but it is still dangerous. And I mean, hell, they've been main eventing Raw off and on for the past like month.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
random tags will get Judgment Day. So, sure, cool, but I think it is time for them to drop the belts because they aren't doing anything with them.
Right. I agree. And on that note, I'm surprised we got an hour out of this payback pay-per-view, because honestly, I didn't think we would. I thought we would be done like at 30 because it was so boring. But payback is happening on Saturday. It is what it is. We're doing it. We're watching it. We'll be back next week to talk about it and see if what we said was right, if our predictions were correct. Yes.
Yep.
Brooke?
And lastly, we do. I think it's not necessary, but I at least want to say a rest in peace to one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Bray Wyatt. I feel like that can't not be said here. I know that we're all hurting, but it's really sucky. He was one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, up there with Dolph and the rest. I've always been a big Bray Wyatt fan. I was super excited to hear that he was returning to the ring. So when I got the news a couple days ago, it shattered me, pun intended. So shout outs Bray Wyatt, one of the GOATs, one of my favorite wrestlers. So
I literally was going to talk about that at the beginning of the show and got sidetracked because of how boring thing is. But yeah, anybody else want to talk?
I just say personally, I did have that privilege of getting to see Bray Wyatt work live. He just had that presence about him as a character that made you care. And from all accounts of everyone who's been talking about him, he seemed like one of the nicest people that has been in a WWE locker room in ages. So rest in peace. And it really sucks. I mean, there's nothing else we can really say about it other than rest in peace. Oh, also, if anybody is aware, him and JoJo, the ring announcer, JoJo, who doesn't work for WWE anymore, they were married. They do have children, like relatively small children. So if you're send some good energy, prayers, vibes, whatever floats your personal boat towards them, because I'm sure.
For
and
sure.
also, want to help support them, go buy some Bray Wyatt merch off the WWE shop, because right now all proceeds from Bray Wyatt merch are going to the family. So there is that as well.
Lewis, you have anything?
I don't know. It's a difficult one. What I find so refreshing. I've always been a fan of the mysterious wrestler. So your Undertakers, your Ravens, your Stings. So when we had Bray, I was instantaneously a fan because there was that mystique about him. And as the years went on and his character grew and grew, we then got to see more dimensions to his character. The Fiend, the Firefly Funhouse, which I thought was some wacky shit, and I loved it. It's sad, it's tragic, because we didn't get to even with how great he was, we didn't get to see his peak. There was so much more to come from him, and it's very tragic.
I was honestly planning on talking about this at the beginning of this podcast and completely got sidetracked. But my first time ever seeing Bray Wyatt was at a WrestleMania on live, and I was like, it was moments. It was that moment, one of those moments you just don't forget, because like the first time I saw the Undertaker, I was like, oh my god, like in awe, in shock, and I felt like the arena was just different when the Undertaker came out. I hadn't felt like that until I saw that time when Bray Wyatt came out, and it was the Fireflies were out. There was a moment like everybody was still. It was like a moment of stillness and solemnness, and I don't know what it was, and they just respected him as his character, and then to see the people, his colleagues, respect him as the man that he was, is just, it's such a sad, tragic moment. Also, Terry Funk, we don't want to remiss without saying that our hearts and our prayers and all of that go out to the Terry Funk's family, because we lost him this week also. It's just been a sad week in wrestling for fans and for wrestlers all over. But
can I just say on that front, that hardcore tag team match is such an injustice to Terry.
Yeah.
Such a fucking injustice to Terry.
We don't need to remind people that match existed. We can just say,
I'm just pissed.
Yeah.
That and the fire, or the Mountain Dew. We didn't get to see either of them go out on their best.
I mean, here we don't know where Bray would have went after the Pitch Black match, other than the feud he was supposed to have with Lashley going into Mania. But what we can say is he left a marked impact, not only on us, but on the wrestling business in general.
Yeah.
And for Terry Funk, I mean, they both revolutionized the sport.
Yep. I mean, I can't think Elimination Chamber without a piece of me thinking Bray Wyatt. So,
I mean, there's a lot of things we can't think about without thinking Bray Wyatt. I can't think about Daniel Bryan without thinking about Bray Wyatt. I can't think about without thinking about Bray Wyatt anymore. I mean, Randy Orton. Like, there are so many different things and times in his career, where not only did he touch the business, but he left permanent marks on other talent that makes him, in a way, immortal. So I'm just gonna say thank you from the bottom of my heart And same to Terry Funk. Thank you too.
Yeah, this we wouldn't be fans of wrestling without people like a Bray Wyatt, without a Terry Funk, and he left a mark. So I'm gonna leave this up, and as we do our sign out, because honestly, what better way to go? I'm gonna take us out the studio and let this be our outro. But we appreciate you watching. We appreciate you joining us. We'll be back next week to talk about Payback and how, if it turned out how we wanted it to, or how we liked it or not. Follow us all on Twitter. Follow us on our socials at The Cup Pod at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can subscribe to this channel. If you're listening to us on any audio platform, please hit those subscribe and like buttons and notifications, and let us know you support us, because we support you. Follow us just on TikTok if you like. We're talking about things. We're doing some things. And yeah, we appreciate you so much. So I'm taking us out, and cheers, y'all. Cheers.
R.I.P.
Not becoming bad.